हकामत कौन है?
दिलबाग सिंह का पुराना दोस्त।
पापा जी को कैसे जानता है तू?
No, I hadn't read it. It's 1,000 pages and a very good read. I've read bits of it, and fortunately my director said, listen, you don't have to read it because the character in the book's quite passive. So he gave me a short story by the same author called Love and Longing in Mumbai, which is quite instructive as to how to, it's the same guy. I think he'd written the short story first and then fleshed it out into this big novel. There were many things I got from it. I read a few hundred pages of it, and there were two words that kind of kept coming up, which were troubled and honest. So this was the lens with sort of through which I thought I'd play this character.
वो 18 साल का बच्चा था। टेररिस्ट बनने की कोई एज लिमिट होती है क्या? हम उसे अरेस्ट कर सकते हैं।
He's a honest cop. He wants to be like his father, but his career hasn't really worked out. He could have been a cricketer. He could have been various things, but he's quite a lowly kind of policeman, quite senior. It's been a while. He hasn't really gotten anywhere. He's solving some, pickpocket cases or some small stuff. He's addicted to sleeping pills, which he chews like gum in order to just stay calm. He's messed up his marriage. He's, doesn't have any friends, drinks a bit too much, and all this kind of stuff. And then one day he gets a phone call from turns out to be one of the most dreaded gangsters in the history of Indian crime, who says, listen, I'm going to give you a chance to save this city. You're the only one I can trust for various reasons. And drops this massive clue in his lap. And this guy gets a chance to turn his whole life around. And takes it and achieves it and becomes a hero. So, it was a fascinating arc in that sense.
Python लिखे warning का इस currency के साथ connection हो सकता है. I need a cop like you.
I mean, in Indian mythology and pop culture, the kind of mafia gangster has always been something that actors have enjoyed playing tremendously, because there is a lot of romance to it in a way, the kind of background they come from, and the fact that there's so much pressure on them, and they're so destitute, and there's no chance of getting anywhere in life until you kind of pick up a gun and take your destiny in your own hands. So I always thought that would be something that we could export, because it's different to somehow the Italian mafia and films we see are more stylized and glamorous in a different way. This is something very raw and sad about this world.
जब तक ये खेल खत्म नहीं होगा, अपनी धरिच है.
I mean, that was the most exciting thing. I mean, we'd been offered shows by other companies, but my management agency also felt that the fact that it's a Netflix show, puts it into a different league to anything else that we'd been offered.
It's quite a lot of pressure there. One of your directors said that this series was sort of like a guinea pig, really, for the whole industry.
I don't know, but it will definitely be compared by people to everything else that's happening in the world. Sometimes movies are forgiven for being culturally different and catering to different audiences, so we can always say that our tastes are different to yours. But on a platform like this, I mean, at least visually and emotionally, I think it has to connect or be as good as, let's say, a Narcos was. It'd be great if it's as successful, but at least as it has to look a certain way, it has to be shot a certain way, the same kind of quality as all the top shows are.
उसने तुम्हें क्यों फोन किया?
मैंने भी उससे यही पूछा सर।
बताया उसने?
उसने बोला सब मर जाएंगे।
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there are constant struggles in India over all kinds of human rights, and feminism particularly is a movement that has a lot of traction recently, and of course, as far as things like the Me Too campaign, it's come a long way to exposing and not allowing certain kinds of behavior that have been prevalent in the past. Yeah.